It's 12 minutes before the hour. We're joined this morning by the leading vote getter in the Sylacauga municipal election last Tuesday for mayor. And it's Jim Heigl. Jim, good morning to you, sir, and congratulations.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Good to have you with us today.
Well,
and
appreciate the invitation.
Talk about the successful campaign. You're in a runoff, but you had to be pleased with the outcome.
Well, I am, but I thank the people, the constituents of Sylacauga. They're the ones that made it happen. And I appreciate that very much. We understand which way they want us to go, and we will be heading that way.
What do you, Jim, bring to the table? What are some of the pluses that you see for people going back to the polls and voting for you for mayor in October?
I looked at the money first. That was always important to me when I was the president of the city council. We kept up with it month and month after month. And we knew what was coming in the previous month. We knew what we spent it on, and it got to the point to where we were comparing it to the year before. So we had a plan. We were following the trend, which way the money was going and where it was coming in from. Not the amount that was coming in at specific places, but the majority of it. And that's changed a little bit since then. And also that we needed to be on a solid, it's sort of like running your home. You don't want to go out there and have to float big old bonds and wind up with high interest rates on your credit cards and stuff like that. You need to stay within your means. Your executive and legislative bodies of your city government has a specific job to do. They need to stay with that. Before I started getting into politics or running for office for District 1, I went to all the meetings. Went to all the IDBs, the school boards, the planning commissions, all of them, not including the council meetings and the council work sessions. And I had to learn about it. It took me about over a year to make up my mind that I would run. Mm-hmm. And I felt more comfortable about it after I learned about it. And I'm sure that this group, President Administration, they went in for the right reason, what they thought was the right reason for a sports facility. And we do need it. It can happen, but I don't agree with the way they went about it. I think we went about it the wrong way.
What are your ideas on that?
Well, really, we got taxes are not for floating bonds and floating $25 million bonds and using tax money to pay for it. We got people in this town, industries and everything else that can help us with it. Sam Wright and I, we've traveled this state from Huntsville all the way down to Mobile, talking to small cities of our size. How did they do it? Little by little. And they cities who had the property, they provided it. Some did not have the property. They purchased the property, and that was it. The people are the ones that really made these sports facilities happen. The
infrastructure of our city has been a topic of this administration now and past administrations. Your thinking on that?
Well, we've got to get back to where we were. It was laid out one time. It was 2011. We appropriated over $1.1 million for paving projects throughout the city. We knew that LDOT was going to come in here and pave 21, which is Broadway right through town. We knew that it was going to happen sometime in 2013. They couldn't give us the exact date. We always met with LDOT at least twice a year to keep up with the state's programs in our area, which is District 4 for them. And at that time, we had Fort Williams was evaluated. It was evaluated at $1.2 million. LDOT had a 80-20 bonds. And we were looking to say we had to sign up for the bonds by December of 2012 to have them ready for 2013. We had to get on the list. And the reason we were able to get that, the same thing Prattville, they just finished over a mile paving of their main street through town. And the reason they got the LDOT bond of 80-20, because it ran into a state highway. Fort Williams runs into two state highways. So you can see what a benefit that is for the state. Mm-hmm. And the same thing with Main Avenue. Main Avenue is one state highway here and one out here, 21. So you got to work with these people, but you got to get in there ahead of time and get on the dot. You got to contact the people, the right people, and keep communications open.
You're leaning on your prior experience as president of the council that was involved in this, and you became the interim mayor at the passing of former Mayor Sam Wright.
That's right. I did. It was a few months. We knew with our income and what we had accumulated in that period of time that I had, when Sam passed in August of that year, 2012, I had the month of September to provide a budget for the city to operate on through 2013. Well, I did. I sat down with every department head, and we worked together. And I went in, I said, what do you need? Because I already knew what they had for the past 3 years. I already had that laid out. So I listened to them. Well, this they could get, this they want. You can't have that this time, because we got to get back on our financial standings. So anyway, working together, we came up with a $13.5 million budget. It had a 29,000 some odd dollars surplus. We accumulated approximately over $400,000 in surplus sales tax and other revenues during that year. And we had some 5-year bonds. We renewed those bonds. They were taken out back in 2007, I believe it was. But they had high interest rates. I mean, up there 12, 13%, how high it was before the fall in 2008. But we got those refurbished. We paid off all the Avondale property. All that belongs to us now. And we also, we were using the interest off the $2 million that we had at that we received from the sale of the hospital several years ago. Mm-hmm. That money was being used to pay for the Avondale property. Well, we accumulated that. That was going back into our savings. We put $3 million into a kitty, and $1 million, or that $1.1 million came out of that $3 million. Well, when we started.
What has happened?
What do you mean, what's happened?
I mean,
what do you see?
We're told that we don't have money. We've got. Do
you know you don't have money?
I think it's $8 million or $6 million that is in escrow that could be used if the city got in trouble or some dire straits.
Well, I don't think you can use it. If there is $6 million, I know there's at least $3 million that's already earmarked. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to go through an act of legislation to get that liquefied. There may be $3 million there you may get your hands on some way or another. But $3 million is already earmarked, and you can't touch that without going to Montgomery. Mm-hmm.
Are the people you talk with during the campaign, they basically talking about the same topics?
Basically, yes, they are. I know people want sports facilities, but our community's not able, it's not fair to put a $25 million yoke on the backs of these people in Sylacauga and raise their sales tax to pay for it. Like I said, that's not what your sales taxes are for. You're for to support your police, your fire, your street, and provide you with the services that you're not able to provide for yourself. That's what you pay taxes for. And that's what we got to get back. We got to do our job. The utility board, they're doing their job. You can see it around us all the way. I mean, I got a big old trunk of communications that they're opening up here. What is it, 10 gigabytes, mm-hmm. which are fairly huge in fiber optics. They're increasing the size of our power lines to get more power to have it ready for the future. The school board, with their leadership, they're doing a magnificent job of what they're doing down there on Broadway. I mean, gosh, they're growing. The utility, the IDB board's doing their job. People talk about jobs. We've got jobs in here. If you don't look them, I've been going to the IDB board since 2007. We've got ICO here. And we were talking about them. Sam and I were in the meetings with them in 2011 and mm-hmm. 2012. Same thing with Atlas Roofing. But these people who got those jobs there, they're not living in Sylacauga. They're going up 280. They're going down to the lakes. They're going down to the rivers. But we've got to have a quality of life where people want to stay. We got a lot of things going on for Sylacauga. We got to keep them moving. A lot of people are doing a great job. But we got to find something. Not everybody plays baseball. Not everybody plays soccer. We got kids out there that needs other types of entertainment. And I think this is something else that we've got people in Sylacauga that'll help us work toward this.
Jim Heigl, our guest this morning. Jim, the leading candidate in the mayoral election vote this past Tuesday. Got about a minute and a half to go. If you would this morning, talk about the 280 property down near Walmart.
Well, I don't know the facts of it. I don't. The $450,000 the city is supposed to get for that, as I understand, it's going into escrow. I don't think the best deal we ever had was with the Drinker Project. It's a shame that council messed that one up. But anyway, it doesn't seem like a good deal. But I think these people are going to have the property for 20 years, and they're going to get over 3/4 of our sales tax. I just have to look at that first. But what I'm really concerned about is the $1,078,000 we got on the property on north of 21 that they were looking at for a sports facility. I'd like to look at that contract and see how obligated we are into that, because that's going to be an issue for us.
Last minute or so with Jim Heigl, who is in the runoff election coming up in October. How are you talking to people? And of course, traditionally, getting them back to the polls is another animal, you know.
That's going to be a big one, because you know what happened 4 years ago. Only half of the people took a lot for granted, you know, and of course, a lot of that, the reason I didn't get I lost by 3 votes, and that was my fault. I didn't get out there, but my main job was I was going to get that budget, and I thought we were sitting pretty, but the council didn't see it that way. But anyway, I wish we could have been on it better. It wasn't fair to this council here. I asked my councilman to rescind it, you know, and they didn't feel like they could do it. But I even went to Montgomery. I talked to the Attorney General. I went to East Alabama, talked to their attorneys, you know, try see, can I get the budget back? Nah. Once you hand it to the council, it belongs to the council.
And I know you want to take this opportunity to encourage people to get back to the polls in October.
Absolutely. I need your vote. I need your support. I'd like to bring Sylacauga back, and let's start moving forward in the future for our own children. I've got grandkids here. I got 2 granddaughters in nursing. I got a grandson that's in the high school, and I would like to see them to stay here. I don't want to have to move away and follow them. I want them to stay here with us.
All right, Jim Heigl, our guest this morning. Jim, always a pleasure, sir.
Well, thank you.
We've got more on Daybreak coming up in just a bit. We've got national news and local sports too as Daybreak continues. Coming up in just a moment, you're watching WOIL TV 47 and